upcoming chapter, what we will see is that how Basanta, one of the Mathan tribesmen, every fruit that he is offering to Lord Hanuman, Baba Mathang is able to see that all of that is not a part of his karma. So who shares the maximum karma of that offering? So when we offer our fruits, what are we essentially doing? We are offering our karmas to Lord Hanuman. So when we offer our karmas, it is a way of our seeking the blessing of fast forwarding these karmas. So the more we are moving towards Shunya karma, that is the faster accelerated way of moving towards Lord Hanuman. However, what we are seeing in these chapters is that with every offering, either a Sura comes or an Asura comes who has a majority stake in that karma. So if there is a karma that is performed, who is performing that karma? Is it you, the soul? So since, let us say, the soul is housed in your body, I will call you Soul Nilima, right? Soul Akanksha, Soul Shiva, right? So these are our, I will take your names also, but yeah, so what I'm essentially trying to make a point here is that our soul really hasn't participated in that karma. Who has the majority stake in that karma? It is our emotions which is dictating either a Sura to come and experience or an Asura to come and experience, right? So you will see how in this chapter a Sura or Asura immediately comes to stake claim in that because he has experienced that emotion. Therefore, what we actually say is be aware. In awareness, Asura and Asura cannot influence us. What it means is that if you had seen the previous chapters, whenever, what's his name? Not Urva. Urva asks Baba, saying, Baba, it is so easy for a Sura or Asura to come and hijack us. So what is the upay? So he says the only upay is through awareness. So the minute you become aware that, hey, I am experiencing this negative emotion or I am experiencing this positive emotion, the Sura and Asura have no stake over that. So immediately they have to exit. And we have seen how powerful a role Suras and Asuras play, where Lord Hanuman has actually told that there is almost no soul on this earth today who is not influenced by Suras and Asuras. So the other concept that we learnt about was of the web of space and time. So what is this web of space and time? Everything is made of the fluid of space. Wherever we are experiencing this theater is called the strings of time, right? So fluid of space on strings of time make up this entire experience. So if this is the tunnel in which I am experiencing it, all the matter that you see is fluid of space, and all the experience that we are having is on the theater of strings of time. This is the illusion of Maya, my dear friends. This is what Maya is all about. To think that this is reality. Whereas the Maya is the fluid of space on strings of time, giving you this beautiful illusion, and the theater is happening. We are the characters who are experiencing and participating in this drama, and we think that this is real. So in this chapter, what we'll try and see today is, were you there in the last storytelling? What we learned in the last story was about the 7 states of existence. Not even 7, 8 states of existence. So all human beings are in 8 states of existence, and in this 8 states of existence also we are not permanently there, which means that
shoulder and red and I think it might.
Oh, so even these 8 states of existence are not permanent, which means we keep moving from one state to another state based on the situation that comes. Okay, we will try and read that further.
Complete the Nishadas
Yes.
ka sadhu. What is sadhu?
Yes, what is a rishi?
Rishi, yeah.
So, just a recap, a very quick recap of what we learned in the last chapter. Okay, in fact, it's the current chapter because we could not finish it. So, this was about, you have all heard of goddess Yellamma. So, goddess Yellamma is the mother of Lord Parshurama. The father is the sage Jamdagni. So, how is it that Yellamma became elevated to a goddess status is what we will learn today. The reason why she got elevated to a goddess status is to show to all human beings that we can also elevate ourselves to a god or goddess status. However, it is not so simple because it requires a lot of understanding of all these concepts, plus it requires constant awareness. Very difficult to practice it. So, there are two margas that we take towards enlightenment, Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga. So, the Jnana Marga is through constant awareness. You understand the concepts that Lord Hanuman is giving. This is the Brahma Vidya. The one who knows this is the Brahman. A true Brahman is the one who understands this and practices this, is the true Brahman, because this is the Brahma Vidya that is being given. And the Bhakti Marga is a complete demonstration of what we saw. However, it is very easy to do Bhakti Marga in the sense that we come and say that, 15 minutes a day, we will do Hanuman Chalisa recital, we will do Nam Japa, and we will leave. When we leave, we forget. So Lord Hanuman says that Lord Ram gets banished from our hearts. Why? Because we go back into the world which is surrounded with all kinds of circumstances, materialistic pursuits. We have our family, we feel that this is our wealth, our house, our possessions. We have our career, we have all these people. Acha, usne mere saath aisa kiya. All of that comes in, right? Where is awareness? Out of the window.
You go to Lanka.
You go back to Lanka.
Illusions.
The illusions are there, you go back to Lanka. So, what is Satyuga is to bring back Rama into your heart. You no longer banish him. That is Bhakti Marga. Constantly keeping Lord in our heart is Bhakti Marga. What is Jnana Marga? Is constantly keeping awareness in your mind. That is your Jnana Marga. When we combine the two, it is the most powerful accelerated path towards moksha. Because for me to be here and to give you this vidya, to have received it, I needed the grace of God. Without the grace of God, I would probably be yet another soul who is in the materialistic pursuits.
Essentially, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga
Is the same. The marga is the same. Yoga is the union of the soul with the Paramatma, is yoga. Marga is the way in which we proceed on the path. That's the approach, yes. But yoga is when you attain it. That is the ultimate destination. Marga is, we are not yet there in the yoga. So, I would say yoga is the final destination. Marga is still, yes, we are still walking on that path.
like that's the college you choose. Yoga would be the degree. Like,
Yes, exactly. Good analogy. So, like we learned that there is a Nishada state of existence. What is the Nishada state of existence? A Nishada is one who is still stuck in the illusion. He is still stuck in the Maya and he is operating. So Lord Hanuman says that there is our soul and there is a character. So the character interacts with Maya, but the soul takes direction from Lord Hanuman because he is permanently anchored there. But what is happening is exactly the opposite. Now the soul is interacting with Maya, okay, and the direction is being taken by Maya as well. So Lord Hanuman is out of the window. He is not there anywhere. It is there for 15 minutes, half an hour, where you think you have purified, but you go out, it is over. So that is what, even in these chapters, he is continuously trying to bring it to our awareness. So when we leave this temple, what we carry in our hearts should be the awareness. So Lord Hanuman says that even when the soul jumps characters, and then one of the Mathang tribes asks, "Oh Lord, what will happen to us if I move to another character? Will I be away from you?" Because the soul, when the soul moves from one character to another, it carries the entire memories.
The Linga code.
Correct. The Linga code consists of what? Karma, desire and memories. So he will carry the memories, karma and desire of that character, which means that he will know everything that has happened in the past. So there is absolutely no difference. So the Mathang tribe, one of the tribesmen asks, "Oh Lord, what will happen? I am so close to you. Will I forget you?" So he says, the only thing the soul carries is the awareness. The amount of practice, the amount of sadhana that you have done in this path is the only thing that your soul will carry, which means that you would have seen many rishis, many enlightened souls who would have done sadhana over many births. When they take birth, they are almost on the path. They immediately accelerate on the path. Not because of this birth. It is the punya, it is the sadhana of many births. So that is the only thing that the soul carries. So, dear friends, dear bhakts, please, my only request, imploring you is to carry this entire Vidya in your mind. The Brahma Vidya should be there. You are constantly having a frame of reference of this Brahma Vidya for any situation that you are interacting with in your daily life, minute to minute, moment to moment. So now we know that there are, let me explain to you what are nishadas. You were there, sir, in the previous story, so you must be knowing about. Okay, let me recap. So the first state of existence is nishada, deha nishada. What does the deha nishada do? A nishada is the lowest level of operation of consciousness. So a deha nishada operates and interacts with this world purely based on his bodily needs. He doesn't even apply his mind. I would say a lot of rapists, they come into this. All those 7 sins that are there, right? If you can count those 7 sins, maybe they even go into 9 and 10. But then all those sins that are there are a result of a deha nishada. He doesn't bring his mind. He's hungry, he'll eat. He's feeling lazy, he'll sleep. He's having arousal, he will act. That is how he is. He is a deha nishada. Then comes the mana nishada. What is a mana nishada? He will interact with his mind. He will use his mind as the most powerful tool, which will interact with the external world. So in this
case, asuras.
in this case the?
As it's nishadas, maybe the interactions are very high with the asuras.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes you don't bring your mind rather into every context. Sometimes it requires a decision with your heart. No, this guy will only go with his mind. He will use his mind to progress. If there is somebody else who is standing in his path, he will use cunningness. He will use schemingness to bring him down and to progress. So he will use his mind as a weapon, as a tool of interaction in this world. Then comes the Viveka Nishada. Who is a Viveka Nishada? He is the one, for example, who will justify his every action through a logic. He will use his Viveka. For example, you know that harming animals is bad. Eating non-veg is akin to a lot of atrocity on an animal. It's a violence on an animal. But he will use his Viveka. What does the Viveka say? He'll say, that is already killed. Somebody else will eat it. Might as well I will eat. He'll say, we are on top of the food chain, so we will eat animals. So he will bring all his rationality to support his body and mind. So body wants to eat, mind wants to taste. So he will bring his Viveka into providing all kinds of logical explanation as to why I should be supporting my body mind. Right? That is a Viveka Nishada. Now, 99% of the human race right now falls under Viveka Nishada. Few are there who are the criminals of Deha Nishada. Few are there who you will see in your corporate worlds who are the Mana Nishada. But maximum are Viveka Nishada. But mind you, it is not that if you are a Mana Nishada, Deha Nishada or Viveka Nishada is a constant. Sometimes you will not know, you will act bodily. You will become a Deha Nishada. Sometimes you will not know, you will act with your mind as your tool. You will become a Mana Nishada. Sometimes your body mind will want to do something, you will not know, you will justify it with your Viveka and that you will become a Viveka Nishada. So you keep oscillating between these three levels.
Can the person not be like a mix of all? It's like a personality.
Yeah, it is not constant. Many a times you will be all of them, right? So this is a Nishada. Then comes a slightly higher level of consciousness in the Prithu. So who is the first Prithu? Soul Nilima?
I have written. No, name I have not written. Manu.
No. The first...
Like there is a person who is the first person.
No. Prithu. Who is the first... what is the first stage of Prithu?
Samskara. No.
Yeah.
Starts from Samskara.
Yes, you're right. So...
Samskara.
Yes, there is a Samskara Prithu. Who is a Samskara Prithu? He will, for example, you will know what is right and what is wrong. Those samskaras have been put in you, right? For example, somebody has done an assignment. You know that the person has put in a lot of work. You will copy that assignment. You will go to your professor and say, I have done it. What will happen? You have your samskaras of what is right, what is wrong is kept aside. But if your samskara body, I'm saying samskara body because you can envision this as a body. Otherwise you can only say plain samskara. If your samskara is strong, then you will say, okay, I will not do it because my sense of what is right and what is wrong is there. Correct? He becomes a samskara prithu. What is the second level of existence? Chitta prithu. Who is a chitta prithu? A chitta prithu is somebody who understands that this is all an illusion. He will see this as, he will bring his awareness into picture. Okay, not even, no, he's still not thinking he's an illusion. Sorry, that comes under in the next level of prithu. He is immediately becoming aware of the illusion, of the, the various bodies that are interacting. So, for example, there is something which is there which you want to take which is not yours. Okay, let us say you have found an iPhone, very expensive iPhone. It is right there. Even the iPhone is, maybe you were traveling, it is right there next to you. That person has opened it. You have all the chances of stealing it, right? So, maybe you wanted that iPhone for a long time. What will you do? You will observe it. So the Chitta Prithu will immediately know his first body and mind getting activated. I can see my body mind wanting to steal it. Alright, then the next thing he will say, the samskara will come and say, no, it is not yours. He will say, I can see my samskara getting activated. Right? And then he will say, the Viveka will say, look, anyway he has forgotten and gone. Right? He seems to be very wealthy. If I take, it doesn't matter to him. He will buy one more. Immediately you will say, I can see my Viveka getting activated and coming into the picture now. So anybody who lives in awareness of understanding how our mental body works, the physical mental body and mind combined together gives you a mental body. Right? So how these mental bodies work? Body, mind, mental body, Viveka mental body, and the samskara mental body. How all of these work, when you come into awareness, it becomes a chitta prithu. The next level is atma prithu. So who is an atma prithu? He will immediately know that this is an illusion. He doesn't, he is so deeply anchored in who the Lord is that he keeps, they say, one eye on this world, one eye with God. So he's so deeply anchored with God that he's constantly realizing every minute, every second that this is all an illusion. So if he sees an iPhone, what does he do? He says, fluid of space. He will then see, he will not even look at his awareness of these mental bodies. His immediate first reaction is, that is also an illusion. I am feeling something. He will ask, who is feeling it? Right? So immediately you get into that Atma Prithu. Atma Prithu level is a sage level. It is something which you can keep your awareness, but to immediately keep on realizing that this is an illusion. This is all Maya. This is all a Maya. This is all an illusion. Right? It is like saying that I am in a dream state. I wake up from my dream. I am back. I am awake, but I am still in another dream. Maybe when I die, I finally open my eyes, but then I come back because I have not fully attained enlightenment. I have not attained oneness. So back to another character, back to this illusion again.
So, Baba in this story is a realized soul, like Atma Prithu and Rishi perhaps.
He is a Rishi.
But then when we see his body language and mannerism and whatever he's doing, it is of that person, mermaid, this.
Yeah.
Like he's so able to...
He is able
beyond
to...
that.
He is beyond that. But for the others, he is able to converse. See, understand something, that Matham tribes, they are giving this Brahma Vidya through practice and awareness. In one of the things they say that when the oblations to the fire is happening on the Havan Kund during the Charan Puja, you know what are their hymns? Hymns are the mantras. You know what are the mantras? A conversation. They would have written the conversation between Lord Hanuman and them. For them, that itself is the Brahma Vidya that has come directly from the Lord. So, as they are pouring ghee and everything into the fire, they are actually talking about a conversation that was held. Because that for them, so they don't have any mantras. So what Baba would be talking about is a mermaid, because he wants his tribesmen to realize and understand every situation is a mermaid. I don't think you were there during the mermaid chapter. Yeah. So mermaid is anything which has a strong emotion. A strong emotion sucks you down. Right? A strong emotion is evoked from a surrounding. It is usually does not arise within you. It arises as a stimulus. It arises as a reaction. Right? So anybody, if let's say you're on the road and somebody cuts you and evokes a strong immediate agitation, annoyance, hatred, anger, all of that, right? He becomes your mermaid. Why? Because a mermaid sucks you in. You know the story of the mermaid, the ancient tale of the mermaid, that if you try to hold the hand of a mermaid, the mermaid will suck you inside the ocean. So here it sucks you inside a pit of bad karmas. So here, let us continue the story. So now you have understood the stages of existence of Nishada. You have understood the stages of existence of Prithu. But there are two more states. One is that of a Rishi. That's why he is Rishi Jamdagni. And the final state of existence is that of God. Godliness, I should say. Rishi Jamdagni, and this story was about a pile of berries in a forest. So they accumulate a pile of berries and they keep it at the edge of the forest, and so they observe all the people trying to take those berries. Okay, one squirrel comes, one monkey comes, tries to eat it, Deha Nishada. One squirrel comes, first smells it and then throws away. He has used his mind, Man Nishada. Then a small boy comes, he first wants to take it, then he has that viveka which says, "Arey, somebody has kept it, maybe he doesn't want," uses his viveka, takes away the berries and runs off. He is a Viveka Nishada. Then comes a Prithu, where one lady comes, right, with a basket. No, there is another lady who comes and says, "I need to take it because I'm hungry," but then she says, "Somebody has done it. He has taken the hard work of accumulating those berries, I should not take it." And she walks away. She is a Samskara Prithu. Then another lady comes, she is able to see my body mind getting activated, see my Viveka getting activated, I can see my Samskara body getting activated. So she smiles and walks away. She is a Chitta Prithu. Then an Atma Prithu, he comes, he touches the earth as if there are strings, like he's playing a musical instrument. And he says, "Look, strings of time. Look at that, fluid of space." And that is a Atma Prithu. He looks at this as an illusion. He doesn't look at it as reality at all. And he walks away with, laughing to himself. Right? Then Devi Renuka, she asks, she's a Renuka Devi. She hasn't become goddess yet. So Devi Renuka asks her husband, Rishi Jamdagni, who is a Rishi? So he will explain now. Rishi Jamdagni and Devi Renuka packed the pile of berries. Oh. Yeah. I'm so sorry about this. This thing has gone haywire again. I need to. There we are. So he talks about Rishi Jamdagni and Devi Renuka packed the pile of berries in a cloth and started walking back to the ashram. Devi said, Swami, you have told me about the 6 categories of living beings, which is Deha Nishada, Mana Nishada, Viveka Nishada, Samskara Prithu, Chitta Prithu and Atma Prithu. But you didn't tell me about the 7th type, the Rishi. You are a Rishi. Please tell, how would you respond if you see a pile of sweet berries? Rishi Jamdagni replied, Devi, a Rishi's soul has already got moksha. He can go to Mukti Sagara any time. He stays in the world to work as the assistant of the gods. Every action of a Rishi is directed by the gods. A Rishi would already know the purpose of whatever he or she comes across. If I come across a pile of berries, I would already know the divine purpose behind that. My action or response would be directed towards fulfilling that purpose. Devi Renuka said, Swami, I pay my deepest gratitude to you for giving me the knowledge of Rishis, Prithus and Nishadas. I understand that you and the gods use these berries to impart this knowledge to me. Now that I have already got the knowledge, why are we taking these berries back to the ashram? We certainly don't need them for eating, as our ashram has got environment of Satyuga, where all desires get fulfilled without doing Purushartha. In Satyuga, I think you missed the previous chapter. During Satyuga, the karmas were not there, so the desires used to get fulfilled immediately. If a soul had any desire, immediately it would get fulfilled. There was no death for the bodies. If they had any injury, it would get healed immediately. That was Satyuga. So in a Rishi's ashram area, that area is Satyuga. So that's why she asked, why are we taking those berries back? We don't need them. Whenever we want, it is a desire can get fulfilled immediately without doing Purushartha, which means I don't need to collect vegetables, grains. All I need to do is sit there and wish for that my hunger gets appeased by the taste of some very delicious things, and I will have the taste and my stomach will say, I'm fulfilled. That is Satyuga. Rishi Jamdagni responded with a smile. The purpose was to be revealed to her very soon. When they reached near the ashram, they saw a group of soldiers on their horses standing outside the ashram. Rishi Jamdagni said to them, O soldiers, you seem to be in need of something. Do tell, what is that you desire? Chief of the group came down from the horse and bowed to the Rishi and his wife. Other soldiers too bowed their heads as a mark of respect. The chief uttered in a very low voice, Food, O wise one. Rishi Jamdagni offered the berries to them, but the soldier said, Maharshi, we are living on fruit since many days. We have eaten so many berries that we now can't bear even the sight of berries. We are looking for some cooked food to calm our stomachs. Rishi Jamdagni replied, Please hold these berries. We will go inside and bring some food for all of you. The Rishi and the wife went inside the ashram, and Rishi spoke to Lord Indra. O Indra Deva, I desire that all the soldiers standing outside my ashrama get their hunger satisfied. When they came out of their ashram, they saw the soldiers munching on the berries. Devi Renuka curiously asked the chief, O soldier, a few moments ago you were saying that even the sight of berries hurts you, but because you have eaten so much of them in the last few days, but now you are eating these berries with pleasure? The soldier looked surprised at the words of Devi Renuka. Bowing to Rishi and Devi, he said, Devi, I am seeing you for the first time. Why do you suggest that we had met a few moments ago and had this conversation? Devi Renuka exchanged a glance with Rishi Jamdagni and said to the soldier, you had desired for cooked food and we had gone inside the ashram to bring it. The berries you are eating were collected by us. We gave it to you a few moments ago. The soldier replied, Devi, neither did we desire for cooked food, nor did we meet before. We just stopped by to have darshan of the wise souls living in this ashram. I am a very ordinary human being. I do not have the wisdom to fit it in my mysterious conversation with you wise rishis. Please forgive us if we have done anything wrong. Now that we are blessed to see you, please allow us to resume our journey. O Mathangs, Lord Hanuman says, O Mathangs, do you understand what happened there?
He spoke to their soul.
No.
The Rishi, he spoke to the soul.
What?
That desire he asked, so they made that erase it.
Correct.
That memory, so that expectation he had.
Absolutely. So what was that change called? Absolute change. You have two changes, right? Relative change, absolute change. If you remember the Sudama, Krishna Sudama story.
I've heard only the...
Oh, you weren't there in that story?
Where, like, he comes back to see his children and his wife like extremely rich after he
Correct. So what happens is he performs an absolute change, which means all your memories get altered.
So what you had said about what Baba Matan does to his people regularly,
Correct.
so that they are not entangled in
Absolutely. He keeps performing absolute change. If you have the memories of a traumatic incident, what will happen? You keep revisiting it in your head, your karmas keep building because you keep having emotions with respect to that traumatic incident.
And invite the same experiences
Again and again.
To live through different things.
So what happens is that you are increasing your karma. When you increase your karma, you are expressing some desires. So your karma desire is going, your karma desire counts are going up and up and up. So he says, no, in a matter of 2 minutes in the last story, if you remember, in a matter of 2 minutes, you expressed 1,000 desires. So when you revisit a traumatic incident, that is what happens. So when you have an absolute change, the entire memories are altered. It can be wiped, it can be, you can have a different memory, whatever you want. That is the Leela of our gods. Absolute change. Hunger of the soldiers had been satisfied by Lord Indra, and along with that their memory of hunger had also been modified. So when they departed, Devi Renuka asked Rishi Jamdagni, Swami, what is the use of this secrecy? They got the food because of the Satyuga like power of our ashrama. The Nishadas and Prithus should know that the ashramas of the rishis are not ordinary places. When they get to know about the miraculous powers of rishis, they will get a motivation to rise from their lower level of existence and become rishis, isn't it? Now we are listening to it, we are also feeling like, wow, we should rise to that level where our desires get fulfilled immediately. So Rishi Jamdagni replied, Devi, we reveal this secret to only those Prithus and Nishadas who are promising enough to become rishis. We cannot reveal it to everyone. There are so many people who perform bhakti. I am putting this message in the group about what we are going to do. This knowledge is there. So many people, I mean, the group itself has 250, 300 people. So over 300 people read that message. But there are only a handful of you here. Why this? Why do you think everybody got filtered?
It is everyone's time when they are ready.
When they are ready, yes. But it also means that the reason that you are listening to this is because your soul is in a higher state of consciousness. Do not take it on your ego, but I have given this book of immortal talks to many people. I have tried to talk about this with my own family members, with my near and dear ones, right? But they are not able to come out of that. It is very easy to say Shri Ram Jai Ram for 15 minutes and walk. But if you walk on the Jnana Marga, you have no choice. That Jnana Marga will be eating into you. You cannot, that awareness has become there. It is imprinted in you now. You cannot walk out and say, okay, I'll continue to live my life the way I used to live. It is not possible. The awareness will keep gnawing at you, saying, look what you're doing, look what you're doing. You will keep falling. If you fall down to the level of a nishada, you will immediately there will be another. So this is called the soul split.
It's like going down the rabbit hole. There's no going back. Once you
There is no going back. But I can also see there are quite a few souls who got interested, came here, sat throughout one story. After that, they could not continue it because their states of consciousness is not allowing them to continue, because they feel that it is not possible. It's too much of a burden on their souls. So when the soul evolves, becomes ready for this knowledge, even if you try and give this knowledge to people, they will not be able to imbibe it. They will not be able to walk on that path. Very, very few, handful of people who have done sadhanas from previous lives can actually understand this. That's why Lord Hanuman says that before this knowledge comes into this world, the reason why it is coming to all of us is because he says there are a handful of grahastha sadhakas to whom this knowledge needs to go out. We cannot reveal it to everyone. Otherwise, just the way a fight had erupted in Satyuga for the occupation of the most handsome body, and in that fight the body had died, in the same way a fight will erupt to occupy the ashramas, and the ashramas will be destroyed. See what lower consciousness. Look at the way when we first, just a few minutes ago, when I said that now that we have this knowledge, we should all try to rise to that level. If you are at a lower state of consciousness of Deha Nishada or Mana Nishada or even Viveka Nishada, what will you say? I will take a shortcut. Why should I do all this sadhana? I'll directly go and occupy. Which is what everybody does. No, land grabbing is nothing but that. Why should I do the purushartha of doing all the wealth? Corruption is nothing but that. Why should I do all that purushartha of attaining knowledge, doing that karma in this world, then attaining wealth? I can directly go and occupy somebody's house and say, leave, might is right. Correct? So this is what he is referring to. This will lead to the accelerated destruction of this world. Next morning, sage Jamdagni took his wife to a mysterious place to impart next lesson of supreme knowledge to her. At that place, there was a river, and the water was so pure that it had the fragrance of nectar. At the bank of the river, there were many baked and unbaked clay pots, pottery tools, and many varieties of clay. It looked like a potter's place, but there was no potter. Before Devi Renuka could ask anything about the place, she saw some very handsome men frolicking in the water. Rishi Jamdagni said, they are Gandharvas. This place is created by Lord Indra specially to help you measure your progress on the path of supreme knowledge. Devi Renuka moved her eyes away from the Gandharvas and started looking at the pots. She asked, Swami, please explain to me the mystery of this place. I am very curious to know. Sage Jamdagni replied, Devi, this water is the symbol of human desires, and these pots are the containers which contain those desires. Desires must be contained, otherwise they lead to more and more desires, hence more and more illusion. What is moksha?
Fire from your leg.
Oh. What is moksha? If I may ask you all, what is moksha?
The shunya state. Like there is no desire, there is nothing.
Exactly. Absence of desire is moksha. When you from andar se jab sari
After the control of the indriyas is also not there. You know, like it must
yeah,
be
if
right?
you are
Like, there is-
controlling something, then it will erupt.
Yeah, so there is nothing. There is nothing. You are just
Jo-
nothinglessness.
yes.
Is the calm.
What is desire in Hindi?
Kamna.
Kamna.
Ichhaएं.
इच्छाएं, आकांक्षाएं. आकांक्षाएं could be aspirations,
Aspirations.
but जब अंदर से कामना शून्य हो जाता है, जब वो सूख जाता है, you have no more desire. So he says, desires must be contained, otherwise they will lead to more and more desires. Hence, you will get more and more entrenched into the illusion. Samskara is the container which helps us contain those desires. For example, when you saw those Gandharvas, a desire tried to emerge from you, but your samskara quickly contained that desire immediately. Your samskara said, you are surrendered to your husband Jamdagni. Hence, even the thought of attraction towards another man cannot cross your mind. Even if that man is a handsome Gandharva, do tell me from where you got this samskara. Very difficult, right? Devi Renuka replied, Swami, I am a princess and the samskaras in me have been imparted by my elders and the wise people of society. And from where did your elders and the wise people get their samskaras? Rishi Jamdagni asked. Before Devi Renuka could answer, he explained, these samskaras have been originally imparted by the rishis. We rishis have the duty of protecting the society. We have introduced a set of do's and don'ts for the prithus, which gets imparted to the new generation from their old generation. Like a clay pot keeps water contained, samskara keeps the desires contained. Devi Renuka asked, Swami, I see some baked and some unbaked clay pots there. What is the meaning behind all this? Rishi Jamdagni replied, Devi, if a person is a samskara prithu, he knows what is right and what is wrong, but he cannot tell why something is right or something is wrong. For instance, he would be compassionate towards animals, but if you ask him why should one be compassionate towards animals, he would say because wise people say that it is good karma. Such a person knows ready-made rules of do's and don'ts of the society set by the rishis. If a person can pick up a ready-made baked clay pot from here and fill it with water from the river, it proves that he is at least a samskara prithu. So what it means is that imagine there are that is a river of desire, right? From the desire, when you try to fill your water, what will happen? 100,000 desires will emerge from your heart. There are, maybe naked Gandharvas swimming over there. Very beautiful. Gandharvas are supposed to be perfect in their bodies. So when you see that, what will happen? Some desires will emerge. Some hidden desires of yours, if it was there for wealth, that will come. For some materialistic desire, that will emerge. So to keep if you want to, when you start filling the water from the river of desire, if your samskara body is not strong, you cannot fill it. So,
By not being able to fill it means you can't contain it.
you can't contain it, absolutely. If a person can pick up a ready-made baked clay pot from here and fill it with water from this river, it proves that he is at least a samskara prithu. Devi Renuka picked up a ready-made clay pot from there and started filling it with water. Gandharvas appeared there to distract her, but she didn't get distracted and easily filled the pot. It proved that she was at least awakened to the level of samskara, that is, she was at least a samskara prithu. She asked, Swami, what do I do to prove that I am a chitta prithu who is awakened at least to that level of consciousness? He replied, Devi, Chitta Prithus also follow the ready-made rules of do's and don'ts. They know what is right and what is wrong. They also know why something is right and why something is wrong. If you can fill a ready-made pot with water without getting distracted by Gandharvas as well as Yakshas, you can prove that you are a Chitta Prithu. So when she tried to fill another ready-made pot, not only did Gandharvas, but Yakshas also tried to distract her. Because of Yaksha, her mind started buzzing with too many questions. But she managed to calm her mind and fill the pot successfully. She proved that she was at least a Chitta Prithu. She further asked, Swami, please tell, what do I have to do to prove that I am an Atma Prithu, or the one awakened to the level of the soul? He replied, Devi, Atma Prithus don't need to follow the ready-made rules of do's and don'ts. Sometimes the ready-made universal rules do not even apply to them in certain situations. Atma Prithu can make their own rules as the situation demands. By using their knowledge, they can determine what and why is something good or bad in the context of a situation. If you can bake a clay pot by using the pottery tools available here and then fill it with water, you will prove that you are an Atma Prithu. She moved towards the pottery tools, but he stopped her. He said, Devi, you are not yet an Atma Prithu. When you become one, I will tell you. Then you can come here to prove it. She further asked, Swami, please tell me how rishis prove that they are rishis. Rishi Jamdagni moved towards a potter wheel lying there. He prepared a pot from the clay available there. When he was about to pick this unbaked pot, 3 apsaras came and held the pot delicately in their beautiful arms. The apsara filled it up and started carrying it towards the ashram. Rishi Jamdagni was only touching the mouth of the pot with his fingertips. The rest of the work was being done by the apsaras. The apsaras helped him carry the pot all the way to the ashram. When they reached the ashram, Seth Jamdagni said to his wife, Devi, the rishis are here to fulfill the purpose of gods, that is the welfare of the gods. They have no distractions. Every power, be it the apsaras, gandharvas, yakshas, help the rishis in their tasks. When you become a rishi, gandharvas would not distract you. They would instead help you, and you will be able to carry the water in an unbaked clay pot. So they say, right, when the rishis do a lot of sadhana, kathor tapasya, then Lord Indra sends apsaras to distract them. No, the apsaras are sent to help them in assisting them
So
in the
difficult,
task.
the more, the faster their motion, like or fulfillment of this thing.
So the apsaras there are a test, whether he has.
Under the test, the brilliant rishi you are, as in like.
Yeah, if you are not distracted by the apsaras. See, the apsaras are sent to help you. So you have conquered yakshas, you have conquered gandharvas. Gandharvas will try to attract you physically. So are your samskara awakened to the level of the samskara? The yakshas will send your mind buzzing. It will come, they will buzz you with so many questions that you will not be able to fill. You will be in a state of disturbance. So can you calm your mind and fill the water? That is this thing, yakshas. So you have conquered yakshas and gandharvas. So the rishi who has done kathor tapasya now has to conquer the apsaras, the attraction of the apsaras, right? So that's why the apsaras come. But if he is a real rishi, they will help him in doing whatever he wants. Yeah, and he will not get distracted.
So maybe in the Atma Prithu stage, the apsara comes to distract, which they are not talking about. But should that be the?
We will. Let's not jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun.
No, I thought that part is over.
No, it is not yet over. She has to realize, right? The test of her Atma Prithunas has to come now. Right. So, Devi, as I said, yes. Oh Mathangs, very soon Devi Renuka evolved and became an Atma Prithu and ultimately a Rishi. So, we don't know the answer to your question. The answer to your question, if I may try to answer is, see, you need to bake that the clay pot, yeah? sorry, you need to first mold that clay pot. So on the potter's wheel, you start doing it. So when you stir it, what do? That's how you do, right? You send the wheel moving. So in that state of Atma Prithu, I feel that yes, you will have Apsaras also coming in to try and test. In the Rishi state, you do not get any tests. You have already passed it.
And you're already a path, on the divine path, right? To fulfill whatever the God wants you to do.
Yeah, so all of them will assist you. They are like angels coming and assisting you, right? So that is what it is, yes. So, when she brought water in an unbaked clay pot for the first time, Rishi Jamdagni told her, Devi, when I married you, you were a samskara Prithu. Today your transition from Prithu to Rishi is complete. You are now a Rishi. You should take this task of carrying water in unbaked clay pot regularly to keep checking that you haven't slipped back to the level of Prithu. Many years passed. Devi Renuka used to regularly do the ritual of bringing the water in unbaked clay pot. Meanwhile, Lord Vishnu himself chose her as the mother to descend to earth in Parshurama avatar. One day, she went to do the ritual of bringing water in an unbaked pot. When she was coming back, Jamdagni Rishi noticed that she was not carrying any pot, not even a baked pot. It could only mean that she had fallen down to the level of Nishada, because a Prithu could have at least carried a baked ready-made clay pot. Rishi Jamdagni was stunned. He thought, I cannot believe it. How can a Rishi fall back to the level of a Nishada? How can my mentorship of years go in vain? What kind of a guru am I that my closest disciple, my wife, has slipped back to the level of the Nishada? When Devi Renuka came near, Rishi Jamdagni noticed that she had a divine aura of godhood around her. His disappointment turned into the most pleasant surprise. She looked to her right, and the river appeared in that direction with pots lying on the bank and Gandharvas playing in the water. She looked to her left, and suddenly that same river now appeared to her left. She had attained godhood. She now had the power of creating the river with a single glance. She now was no longer an assistant to the gods. She had become a goddess herself. Rishi Jamdagni knelt down and bowed his head in respect. Lord Vishnu was present there in the form of Parshurama. Lord Brahma and Shiva also witnessed this moment from their respective abodes. Chief of worldly gods, Indradeva, also appeared there with all the other gods. Rishi Jamdagni said with his hands folded, Devi, now that you have attained godhood, you must choose a figure of yourself for which your devotees can worship to get your blessings. Devi Renuka said, O the best of sages, O Rishi Jamdagni, I choose to be a goddess for the Nishadas as well as the Prithus. Even the lowest of Nishadas and Prithus should be able to relate to me. By worshipping me, they should be able to realize that they can not only evolve to become a Rishi, but also rise one step further and attain godhood. To initiate Devi Renuka into godhood, Lord Vishnu in the form of Parshurama, who is Devi Renuka's son, came forward. He wielded his axe and cut off her head. The head which fell to the ground was the head of the princess, because Devi Renuka was once a princess. The new head which grew on her body was that of a Nishada woman. Lord Vishnu declared, the Prithus will worship her Prithu form, that is the head which separated from her body. The Nishadas will worship her Nishada form, which is the full form. O Mathangs, thus Devi Renuka became the goddess of both Prithus and Nishadas. Lord Hanuman concluded.
Just 2 days back I heard this story from my mother, but a very different version. So I'll correct her today.
So a lot of these stories that we actually listen to here, that has been given to us, has been in the wrong context, has been in a wrong, misunderstood form that has come to us. We haven't understood it from the context of how Lord Hanuman is trying to tell us as to who are the Nishadas, who are the Prithus, how can you elevate yourself, how can you become a Rishi, how can you attain Godhood. So this is that divine knowledge that is coming to us. And the only way that we can respect this knowledge coming to us is by going, when we leave this place, we have to leave in awareness. Awareness of our thoughts, awareness of our desires, awareness of our actions, awareness of our emotions, awareness of our sentiments. And in that, just simply observe. That's all that is required. Observe and become aware that this is what is getting activated. Oh look, I am feeling like that. I am getting attracted to something. What is that something? It is nothing but fluid of space. What is this emotion that I am feeling? It is just nothing but an illusion. The more we start feeling that way, the more we will add strings to our soul, and you will have a soul split. And this soul split, even in the most intense of emotions, will come up and show you the mirror, saying, look at this. You are getting involved, you are getting deeply entrenched into some drama, some emotion, some sentiment, when you don't have to. Withdraw yourself immediately and return to awareness. This way, you will not slip back into the level of into a level of a Nishada. Always check within yourself, where am I operating from? Where am I coming from? Am I coming from my Deha Nishada, from my Mana Nishada, from Viveka Nishada? Check within yourself. Then you will know, okay, this is what it is. Check within yourself, where is my samskara? Let me contain my desire with my samskara pot. This is the Brahma Vidya of today. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.